This is just all because of a simple argument over nothing that could have been rectified, of waiting a few days, and coming and having my mom come and talk to me instead of having to have the cops come say that they need to talk to me and end up arresting me. I don't think my mom was aware that cops, all they do is seem to find a reason and to arrest you. And also explaining to my mom that I get pestered by cops, she doesn't understand the magnitude of how much I get pestered by. It's totally different when you're a 21-year-old black male. So after the argument went through, Mom left for about an hour, and I went to go and see my friends. I come back home, and my mom just decided to spend the night somewhere just to let things go, cool down. Well, in that night, I had a complete and total meltdown because my parents never want to understand of how many times I get pestered by cops and how many times I've had this happen. And I can't really say anything without them saying, oh, I'm having a hard time believing it because I say it too much. So I went through, I had a meltdown, I threw a tray and I broke a doorknob and part of a ceiling because of the meltdown I had. And I admit it was wrong, but when you're at a certain point, and especially for 5 years being pestered with cops for no reason, you have no other outlet. So when my mom went back in the house and she saw the house kind of in ruins, which wasn't really too bad, she decided to call the cops to talk to me. Just to talk. What she didn't realize is that when the cops came in and they saw a table flipped over and so on, and they just like, oh, we have to arrest him. Now, my mom isn't going to press any charges. She isn't, because she knew that I was having a bad time, and she knew that meltdowns do occur with other people, and she's had the same problem. When the cops came in and arrested me, I was basically just in my skivvies, just my underwear, and the cops came in and they were wanting just to talk to me. The minute that they wanted to talk to me, they came and grabbed me for no reason, and I shoved them across the room. Now, at this point, as I got up, the cops wanted to try to restrain me, and I didn't even know what I was being restrained for. And the three cops, they tried to take me on the ground, but they couldn't. So they had to resort to tasering me. The taser didn't even affect me because I was so pumped up from, being awakened by having three cops on top of me. So I just decided to submit because knowing cops now, that they have major issues in trying to control people, the chances of me and being shot could have been, right then and there pretty high. So after I go to the jail, they don't even read me my rights when I first get in the car. They're all high-fiving and smirking and laughing. After I get to the jail, the holding cell for about an hour, then they read me my rights. They don't read me my rights when I was arrested. They read me my rights when I was in the holding cell. And so I was there for about an hour in the Johnson County Municipal Court. Then they take me to the Johnson County Big Jail. It's the next step to go into Gardner. And that's when things got really bad. They put me through and they made me wait for a couple hours, with some other people that had DUIs and other weird stuff. And they fed everybody lunch, but they never fed me. They never ever fed me. And in that time, they also harassed me, and they harassed other people that were in the holding cells and so on. So after getting finished being strip searched multiple times, I go up into my main cell and they keep me over for 24 hours. Now they had us on a 21-hour lockdown, and the 21-hour lockdown was inhumane, very inhumane. This is almost like if you were being put in solitary confinement. They would keep me in a cell by myself for 6 hours at a time, and we have two 45-minute recreational periods. And in between those times, we were in our cells by ourselves. Not to mention that I had the jail guards harass me and make fun of me. And, when I'm trying to sleep, they would knock on the door really loud to wake me back up and laugh and keep on going. And, I was so mad, but at the same time, I had to be careful because I did not want to stay there longer than what I needed to be. So I was there for 24 hours. And in that time, not only do they harass you, but they also have a set of rules. Also, when it comes to, eating food, it's not their responsibility to wake you up if you're in a dead sleep and not feed you. They tell you over an intercom and so on. So I missed supper that day as well, lunch and supper. And I, apparently it was my responsibility to get up. Now, I personally am not a violent person. I am not a person that has a criminal history. Why do my tax dollars go for something like this and I get treated so inhumanely as well as other people? And why is it that jail guards and cops think they have the right to harass people for no reason? Now, also on my second day, I decided not to eat at all. And I did that out of protest because of the inhumane structure of everything. And I still had the jail guards harass me. I still had them call me names. I still had them threaten me for no reason. I even came up just to get a milk for lunch, and I just grabbed it and they told me to put it back, and they were calling me names. And it's just, apparently you have to be on a list just to get a simple milk. And all that for being called names. And the cleaning in there, they expect you to clean your cell. When I went into my cell, it was not clean. The toilet was completely nasty. There was snot rags everywhere in the cell. There were a few blood stains. Probably another person went insane. It was a mess. And with the health standards I would expect from America, and them asking me when they were booking me, saying, did I have Ebola, do I have AIDS, do I have this, I would expect some type of cleanliness. In the showers, I didn't even take a shower. The shower was completely filthy. They never clean it. There was literally pubic hair everywhere. There was no cleanliness factor whatsoever. Now, when I got out of jail, when I got into court, they were going to charge me with domestic violence. And so they're going to charge me for, criminal damage because I broke a tray and a doorknob, which really shouldn't even matter with criminal damage. And they're also going to charge me for using hateful language. Yes, that is an actual misdemeanor. It is. According to the state of Kansas, that is considered domestic violence. So if you were to get in a simple argument or call somebody a name and the policeman would have caught that, they can arrest you for that and give you a Class C misdemeanor. I've been pulled over for nothing, and I also do a night walk, and I usually go out around 7:30 and don't come back home until about 9, which I think is pretty normal. And I've had cops come by, stop, or glance at me, or come backwards and, look at me as I'm going. Also, since I have a hard time with job finding, because I am kind of picky, because I need a little bit more money than $8 an hour, I have scrapped metal, and I've had policemen stop me and pulled me over for no reason and wanted to search my car. I have been arrested one other time for no reason, and this one's in Kansas City, Missouri, for apparently trespassing. I won the case because I was not trespassing or stealing, not to mention that the cops wrote the tickets wrong. And it's just basic harassment that my mom doesn't seem to understand. I don't know what to say anymore. It's terrible, and I'm, at this point, I can't physically take this anymore. The emotional abuse that comes from it as well, the shaming, being humiliated, I can't physically take it anymore. And I encourage everybody to stand up for themselves.